What about trig equations with actual numerical answers? Well, let's take a look, shall we? First things first, show that this left-hand side can be written as this right-hand side. Oh, more like this should be equal to this. Not a problem. So that's what we did last time, right? First thing we need to do is 3 sine squared x plus 7 sine x is equal to cos squared x minus 4. Well, the first thing you can see is that everything is in sine, so we have to turn this cos into a sine. How do we do that? Well, this is the same as 1 minus sine squared theta. Okay, so let's write it all out. 3 sine squared x plus 7 sine x is equal to, let's write it out, 1 minus sine squared x minus 4. Okay, and now let's put everything onto the other side to make it equal to 0. We should get an answer of 4 sine squared x plus 7 sine x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay? Now, hence or otherwise, solve between 0 and 360 that 3 sine squared x plus 7 sine x is equal to, so basically the top one. Okay. Well, from part A, all we need to do is just solve this. Okay? So let's solve that. 4 sine squared x plus 7 sine x plus 3 is equal to 0. What does that look like to you? 2, 1, 0 is equal to 0. It's a quadratic. So what we need to do is we need to solve it like a quadratic. The first thing I'm going to do, just to make it a little bit easier, is I'm going to let y equal sine x, right? So therefore this is the same as 4y squared plus 7y plus 3 is equal to 0, okay? Now let's factorize it. So what are two numbers that add up to make 12? 7 but multiply to make 12. 3 and 4. So 4y squared plus 4y plus 3y plus 3 is equal to 0. Which means that 2y times y plus 1 2y. Wait, no, we can factor out 4, even better. Let's factor out 4. Y plus 1. And then this is plus 3 times y plus 1 is equal to 0. And so what we're left with is an answer of y plus 1 times 4y plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay? This means that if we sub in sine x, we get sine x is equal to 1 and sine x is equal to negative 3/4. Okay? So now all we need to do is work out what x is equal to. For this first one, x is going to be equal to 90, isn't it? For this second one, if we plug that into our calculator, x is going to be equal to you should get minus 48.6, right? However, it's between 0 and 360, so we can't use that, okay? Instead, what we can do is use our sine graph, right? Which I'll draw down here, sure. And we can use the next best thing, which is just adding 360 to get this value. And then we can also use this negative 48 and reduce it to 180 and then also add the 360. So what we got is if we add the 360, we get 311.4, okay? Or we can get an answer of 288.6, okay? And that all comes down to understanding the sine graph and meeting this range here. Is this video helpful? Well, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video from me. Now let's go on to this example. Most of these questions start out the same. You have to prove that one form is equal to a simpler form. So if part A, 3 sine squared theta minus 2 cos theta is equal to 1, then the first thing we need to do is realize this is written in sine, so we change the cos into sine. So this will be 3 sine squared theta minus 2 times 1 minus theta. Minus sine theta, excuse me. And that's equal to 1, okay? What we can do now is expand the brackets. So we're left with 3 sine theta minus 2 plus 2 sine squared theta, which is equal to 1. And then we can simplify it to equals 5 sine squared theta is equal to 3. Okay? Now we need to solve this equation, giving each of our values to one decimal place. The first thing we want to do is we need to make sine squared theta the subject. So if we go part B, 5 sine theta is equal to 3, which means that sine squared theta is equal to 3/5. However, because this is a squared, we want to put it equal to the other side so that it equals 0. So sine squared theta minus 3/5 is equal to 0. And that is the same as a difference of 2 squares. So this is the same as sine theta minus 3/5 and sine theta plus 3/5. And so sine theta is equal to plus minus 3/5. Okay, oh sorry, the square root of 3/5. Alright? Now what we need to do is find what theta is equal to. So, okay, for plus, right, for sine theta is equal to plus root 3/5. Theta should be equal to, you can plug this into your calculator, people. You should get an answer of 50.7, one decimal places. I get 76, so 0.8, right? And I also should get an answer of 180 minus that, which is 129.2. Now let's do the same thing for sine theta is equal to minus 3/5, root. The first value I get for sine of negative is just going to be 309.23, and my other value is going to be minus 230.768. And those are our 4 solutions to this algebraic trigonometry. Still not making sense? Join my Discord server and ask me whatever questions you want about this topic. For fast responses, guaranteed. Now let's look at this question. For this one, we're asked to solve between negative 180 and 180. These factorized values. And then we're also asked the same thing about this one. Okay, let's start with part I, right? For part I, or Roman 1, we know that each of these values are equal to 0. So let's write them down. Right? So 5 sine theta minus 2. Both are equal to 0. Okay. So for this first one, tan theta is equal to minus 1. And when tan theta is equal to minus 1, theta is just going to equal minus 45. And then theta repeats itself every 180. So what we're going to do is add another 180 so that we get 135. Okay? Now let's go over the next value. We got 5 sine theta is equal to minus 2. Sorry, 2. So therefore, sine theta is equal to 2 over 5. And so theta is going to be the inverse sine of 2 over 5, which is sine minus 1 as some normies call it. That's a word I haven't used in ages. Wow. Yeah, I get 23.6. I'm going to put it to 1 decimal place. And then we do 180 minus that to get our other value, which is 156.42. Or 4. Rightio. So that was part Roman 1. For Roman 2, what we're going to do is we got 4 sine x is equal to 3 tan x. Okay. The first thing we can do is put one in terms of the other. So, first thing is we can put tan as 3 times sine x over cos x. Okay. And that's equal to 4 sine x. Now let's get it out of the bracket. So this is going to be the same as 4 cos x is equal to, I'm gonna, actually I'm not gonna delete anything right now. So 4 cos x is equal to, 4 cos x sine x is equal to 3 sine x, okay? Now, we're not out of the woods yet. What we need to do now is we need to eliminate values, but we have to be careful because if we're not careful with eliminating our values, we can lose some, which is entirely a possibility. One way we can do this is we can put the sine x on the other side. So what we're left with is 4 cos x sine x, right? Minus 3 sine x. And that's all equal to 0, okay? Now what we can do is factorize sine x on each of them. So we can take sine x out of the brackets, and in the brackets will be 4 cos x minus 3 is equal to 0. And that way, we won't eliminate a value here, which we may have done had, let's say, we cancelled out the sine x's. But we didn't do that because we're smart people and we don't want to eliminate values. Now we can solve for x, right? If sine x is equal to 0, right, x will be equal to 0, 180, and 360, okay? Our other value is that cos x is going to be equal to 3 over 4. So x is simply going to be the inverse sine, the inverse cos of 3 over 4, which is the same as 41.4 Or if we subtract it from 180, 318.6. And those are our final values for x. And it's all within this range here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video made sense. Do you guys want to pass your exams with flying colours? Well, you can get tutored by me. Drop me an email in the link below and we can organise a meeting and a quote. Keep on learning as you have no idea what you're capable of doing.